Here is the 10-week PMP program, the PM distilled PMP preparatory program. So here is the plan to make you a PMP in 10 weeks time. So the week 1 we'll be focusing on introduction to the basics. So there we'll be explaining what is a project, program, portfolio, PMO, enterprise environmental factors, organizational process assets. So we'll be discussing all those basic definitions of project management. Then week 2 we'll be covering scope, cost and budgeting. Week 3 schedule. Week 4 the knowledge areas. Week 5 monitoring, controlling and closing. Then we move on to Agile. That is in week 6 it will be orientation to Agile and Scrum. Week 7 Agile fully elaborated. Week 8 and week 9 again Agile elaborated. Week 10 PMP exam practice, and week 11 onwards we'll have a continued support till you pass the exam or for 1 year from the date of completion of this course, whichever is earlier. So we are talking about a partnership with you till you pass the exam. And how is the knowledge transferred? So we have this weekly plan, and every week starts with a instructor meeting, and then in that meeting we decide what all things we should be covering. By and large the coverage will go as per this table, and there you are supposed to watch a set of videos actively with the intent to understand the concept. Then at the end of the module there will be an assessment, and throughout this module there will be online support by the instructor, so you can contact the instructor whenever you have a query or a question, or if some of the concepts are not at all clear, you need a full explanation of it, you can contact the instructor will provide it. So at the end of the week that knowledge increment happens, and this cycle repeats till we complete the 10 weeks, and after that also the support continues. This is the fully detailed contents for the week 1. The goal of week 1 is introduction to the basics of project management. Starts with a meeting with the instructor. Then we discussed about projects, programs, portfolio, PMO, project managers, roles and responsibilities, the phases of a project, initiating a project, project charter, business case of the project, stakeholder management, organizational structures and power equations. Then agile, predictive and hybrid project management. And iterative, the difference between iterative, incremental, agile and waterfall. Then enterprise environmental factors and organizational process assets. And then we have the assessment at the end of week 1. Then we move on to week 2. Here we start with again the meeting with the instructor, then the requirements collection, scope definition, work breakdown structure, bill of quantities, cost estimation, defining the project's organization breakdown structure and how to establish the control accounts, defining the project budgets and the assessment. And after week 2 we move on to week 3. During week 3 we'll be focusing on schedule development and schedule reviews. So here we discuss about, again starts with meeting with the instructor, activity definition, duration estimation, activity sequencing, schedule network analysis and critical path using both activity on arrow and activity on node, then fast tracking and crashing, then understanding the project integration management, what is meant by project integration management, and an assessment. Then we move on to week 4. Primarily we focus on knowledge areas here. What is exactly scope management? How do we plan for it? How do we do it? How do we check it? And if there is a variance, how do we act on it? So in that manner, we'll be explaining all the knowledge areas like scope, cost, schedule, procurement, risk management, quality, resource, stakeholder communications. Again, there will be an assessment at the end of the week. Week 5, again meeting with the instructor. The focus is on monitoring and controlling and closing. Primarily we focus on earned value management and earned schedule management. Again starts with meeting with the instructor, then change management, configuration management, monitoring and controlling of project work, and formally closing the project or phase. Then we discussed about project management scenarios. This is with an intent to teach you how to approach a scenario and how to pick up the best actions from the practitioner's point of view. So this exercise will teach you to how to answer the questions, and that is very, very important for the exam perspective. Then week 5 concludes with an assessment. Then we get into week 6. There the focus of week 6 is on orientation to Agile and Scrum. So we start with Agile Manifesto and Principles. Again, we discussed about predictive, agile, and hybrid models. We again discuss on waterfall, iterative, incremental, and agile, and popular agile frameworks and organizational change management for agile. How do you do that? And instead of talking a lot of things about a lot of discrete models, we will take you in depth into the Scrum model, which is the most popular one. And it is easily portable across domains. So we'll give you an in-depth understanding of the Scrum framework, and it concludes with an assessment. Then week 7, then we get into the elaborated concepts of Agile, like servant leadership, Agile teams, Agile roles, Agile project charter, how to prepare the backlogs, how to expand the backlogs into user stories, how to estimate the stories into story points, then Agile estimation like playing poker and stuff like that. Then how do we plan the releases, then iteration planning, managing the iteration and assessment. When we discussed about Scrum in detail itself, many of these concepts will be clear to you. Here we are, refining those concepts further. Then week 8 continues. The focus is on Agile elaboration. We talk about execution practices, daily stand-up meetings, tracking board, burn down charts, maybe different types of burn down chart, burn up charts, Kanban board, feature charts, and product backlog, burn up chart, iteration reviews, retrospectives, velocity calculations, and it ends with another assessment. Week 9, again, it is dedicated to elaborating Agile further. We'll be discussing about earned value in Agile context, cumulative flow diagrams, iteration reviews, retrospectives, and the contract types which are suitable for Agile projects. Then how do we scale Agile? If the team size is very large, how do we scale it up in an organization? We'll discuss about Agile PMO, hybrid project management, and concludes with an assessment. Then exam practice, which is mandatory for the success in the PMP exam. So week 10, we'll be focusing primarily on scenario analysis, and the final assessment is also conducted, and the 35 contact hours certificate is issued for those people who have successfully completed the course. And in case because of some reason you are unable to complete, you can come back in the next cycle and participate. So once you register, that registration is valid for 1 year. From week 11 onwards, for 1 year from the date of completion of the course, online doubt clarification on using Skype, WhatsApp, Zoom, email, and YouTube. When I say YouTube, all these video lessons are on YouTube. As and when you have a query, you can post it as a comment and we'll answer it on YouTube itself. Or you want to chat with us, a WhatsApp group is there. Email is also fine. Scheduled Skype and Zoom meetings are also fine. So PMRI Campus YouTube channel access and comments answering is also there. These things you can use anytime. And an assured support is given to you for 1 year from the date of completion of the course. But even after that, you are welcome. But then ideally, you should complete your PMP exam within 3 months of completion of week 10, so that the concepts will be very fresh to you. So after this course, maybe you do some self-study and exam practice for 10-15 days, and then you must be ready for the final exam. So while doing this online course, I don't want you to be, study like a student. This is primarily to get into the subject, and maybe after the course for 10 days you can really concentrate and then start doing the practice test. Maybe the best sample of practice test and all we'll be able to recommend to you. Then the last few days you should study like a student. Otherwise, it can be an easy study of the concepts. The training / learning method, the weekly meeting with the instructor is mandatory. So every iteration starts with a meeting with the instructor. These meetings happen at predefined slots. If the predefined time slots of the meetings are not convenient for any participant, special meetings are scheduled on mutual convenience. The scheduled weekly meetings timings are, by default, we go by Fridays 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. India Standard Time, and Fridays 7:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. India Standard Time. Saturdays also 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. India Standard Time, and Saturdays 7:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. India Standard Time. And any other as decided on a case-to-case basis. So right now something is scheduled for Sunday evening 7:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. as well. During this meeting, an overview of the topics to be covered are provided during this meeting. Doubts are clarified from week 2 onwards. If you have any doubts pertaining to the week 1, the previous week, that is clarified. Meeting links will be emailed to those who have registered for the course. Participants are required to attend the weekly meetings on any of these time slots or as decided on a case-to-case basis. Only then this will become an instructor-led training. It is not a record and play. So this is an instructed guided training program which has elements of online lessons and instructor support. So both should go hand in hand so that your preparation will be easier and you'll get better value from the training. And it satisfies the instructor-led training criteria of the Project Management Institute, which is mandatory for issuing the 35 contact hours certificate. Then study of topics. This is what you should do after the meeting with the instructor. Watch the top videos of the corresponding week's playlist on YouTube. You can access the channel by typing pmricampus.com. So there is there are 10 playlists are there: week 1 PMP, week 2 PMP, week 3 to week 10 PMP. So if you are in week 1, so after the instructor meeting, then during the week you're supposed to watch all the videos under week 1 PMP, and at the end of that there is an assessment, so you should complete that assessment, then come for the week 2, the instructor meeting. And when you are in week 2, there is a playlist called PMP week 2, so you should watch the videos in that week 2 playlist and do the assessment. So this is what we do in between the instructor meetings. And questions, if any, can be posted as comments against the video and the instructor will answer them. Participants are required to complete the assessments provided at the end of every week's playlist. This is not very difficult. This is 10-15 questions from the topics covered through the videos, just to verify whether you have really gone through it. Participants are also required to watch the project scenario analysis videos posted regularly. So there is a playlist, project scenario analysis. Every day I'm posting one video there. This will teach you how to approach a scenario and come out with the best solution to it. So automatically you fall into that groove. So maybe from day 1 of the course, casually you can start watching this project management scenario videos. So the thought patterns will get aligned to the PMBOK way of answering things over a period of time. So don't do it in one shot. So every day you watch one or two project management scenario analysis, think through it. Parallelly, you watch the videos on the subjects. So within 10 weeks time, you will be almost ready for the final exam. And after that, you do serious exam practice for another 5-10 days. I'm sure that you will pass in the first attempt itself. In case the participants are unable to understand key concepts, instructor will conduct special online classes of the relevant topic or post exclusive videos to clarify the doubt. So if you have a very genuine doubt about a particular concept, either we'll conduct a special class for you, or that can be a trigger for us to record an exclusive video on it and then post it into the same YouTube channel so that it becomes a reusable component for us. Instructor is also available on WhatsApp for doubt clarification. Instructor will recommend other reference material and sample tests if required. So thank you for watching, and you can register for this training program by scrolling down in the details of the video. I provided a link to a form which has hardly 6 or 7 questions. So if you can provide us those details, we will invite you for a discussion with the meeting with the instructor and again explain how things work. And we'll send you the detailed brochure of the training as well. So scroll down and register for the course now. There is no obligation, so you just express your interest by registering for the course, and then so that we can contact you and explain things further. And when you get convinced, you can make that decision whether to join or not. Thank you very much.